About the best thing that I can say is, told you, but let's get it cracking. Yo, 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 no maniacs, super no maniacs. Welcome into another edition of Feed the Bears, man. Hey, listen, I'm just gonna tell you guys, man. And I do take pride in how much man hours we spend over here trying to make sure we locate this talent in this draft. It's something I'm very, very proud of. And and just for the record, it's a labor of love because I know that people really appreciate somebody spending the time to go out and look at these players and give whatever evaluation that they can give on these players. I'm not a paid scout, none whatsoever. No team pays me whatsoever. And so I do it for the love of this channel and you guys that really support us, man. So just know it's still ongoing, and we're doing a show tonight. As a matter of fact, at 8 p.m. Central, we're going to do another prospect show. We got several guys that we're going to try to put on the radar for you guys. And said that's just for the record. So stay tuned for that at 8 p.m. Central tonight. We're going to do that show, but spending all this time, doing this stuff. Months ago, we put this guy on the radar and let people know that, like, hey, man, listen, this dude right here is something. I mean, really something. And so, what I want to say about this is Landon Jackson, defensive end from Arkansas, who apparently went to the combine, and I really didn't even know about it because I'm not a big combine guy. Don't put too much stock in it because, what I see on film is what I see on film, and that's really the Bible for me. I just believe, and I always believe that really metrics have their place as far as I'm concerned. I don't really care to indulge in it. Really, there's some metrics that are useful. When you're evaluating what someone can get paid or what they're worth and things like that. But for me, when it comes to the football, no dice at all, man. It's just get rid of that, get that away from me. Put on the tape, and I'll tell you exactly what you're looking at. And sometimes you're looking at this stuff, and you're looking at players, and you're looking at traits. You're looking at, okay, especially for us in Chicago, knowing who Dennis Allen is and knowing the body types he likes at different positions, you have to understand that first. And so several times on different shows, I put on display that these different body types, and so make a long story short, Landon Jackson is the perfect body type for Dennis Allen in the 4-3 defense. The way he wants to play that defense, he wants a big, powerful edge setter, that can also rush the quarterback and get production. And he is every bit of that. Like, I'll give you a good example. Thus far, I'll compare two tapes because I heard that Shamar Stewart did pretty well down there at the combine as well. And so you see the traits that Shamar Stewart has, and then you look on film and you're looking for production. And it just didn't match up with the traits. I mean, he's a phenomenal, freakish athlete. Phenomenal. I mean, but the production didn't match his freakish athleticism, I would say. Not saying that he can't get there. Well, what I'm saying is the freakishly athletic traits that Landon Jackson has about him. He's 6'7", played at about 275, 280, more like 280. And he came to the combine at about 260 something and some change. It's like the production was there. And the impact on the game, the imprint on every single game, it was there. I kid you not, guys. You go and look at the difference between a Shamar Stewart tape and a Landon Jackson tape. It's like days. I mean, it's like one moon over here and one moon over here in this other galaxy. It's two totally different films. And I'm telling you, this guy is an impact, do everything 4-3 edge rusher. I mean, he has it all. I mean, the force this guy plays with. That's the first thing that jumps out to you is the freaking force he plays with. He's got something else to him. And watching this film over and over and over again, and I was just trying to figure out, man, where's this guy getting this chip? He's got a chip on his shoulder that he plays with. He's got an edge. And I'm telling you, I'm not blowing any smoke to you guys. Just go turn on the film. If you look at nothing but highlights, like I said before, nobody's a dork. Not everybody's a dork like me and sits around and looks at hours and hours of film. There's ways to look at this guy and come away with exactly what I'm trying to describe to you guys. He is a force of nature. Landon Jackson is a force of nature. He is one of the very few prospects in this draft that I think are can't miss. You cannot miss. This guy is not going to change. He's just only going to get better. And so I was just talking about what it was about him, this edge that he plays with, man. He's got something about his attitude and his spirit that just really transcends a lot of the football players that I've seen in a long time. And he plays with some ferocity. I mean, you just really have to go look and see what I'm talking about. But I saw, so how I find out, I didn't even know he had performed as well as he did down at the combine. I was so busy trying to get today's show ready yesterday. I took a break somewhere around 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I just turn on YouTube and I see him all over YouTube. And he's running the 40. I'm seeing he performed well. That he got up in the top echelon and I think vertical jump or something like that. Don't know exactly the measurements, but I guess that stood out for a lot of people and just, the way he performed down there. So anyway, afterwards, he went to, as all the players do. I don't know if it was before or after, but I seen it. I think it was afterwards. And he was answering questions about, because if you look at him, he's different looking. Why? Is because he was born with alopecia. That's a skin disease that I guess won't allow you to grow like body hair, facial hair, and things like that. And so he looks different. And someone asked him about that. The lady asked him, and I can't remember exactly how she worded it to him, but I can tell by his response. And he talked about how, he spent pretty much his entire childhood, being picked on until he finally realized that I'm bigger and I'm stronger than everybody else, and you ain't gonna keep doing that to me. And so right then and there, I knew that's where he got the chip. That's where he got the chip. He plays with that attitude that everybody doubts him, everybody picked on him, called him funny looking, and all those kind of things and all that stuff. It's about like where you come from and what you've been through kind of makes and defines who you are if you allow it to. Now, I guess this happened in a good way, in my opinion. This is a good thing that it kind of kindled the spirit and the fire in his belly, and you can see it on film, man. This guy has something to prove to the world. And I'm telling you guys right the F now. I'm telling you guys right now. I believe, I don't pay a whole lot of attention to who people are saying are slipping up and down draft boards because how the hell would they know? Are you there in somebody's building to know whether somebody's slipping up and down a board? We don't know that. And so, conventional wisdom would tell you that, as a matter of fact, when I first started to study him, people were saying, oh, he'd be middle, late round pick somewhere around there. Ain't nowhere in the world. Tell you right now, ain't nowhere in the world. This guy gets out of the first round, it's a miracle. Period. If he gets out of the first round, it is a miracle. But I'm telling you, put this guy in Dennis Allen's defense on the other side of Montez Sweat, and you got TNT. Straight up explosives. This guy is going to be a plug and play day one NFL defensive end at the 4-3 spot. And I would not, if I was a guy that was coaching a 3-4 defense, put him in that scheme because his skill set doesn't necessarily translate. I wouldn't want to see him back playing coverage and covering flats like that. Not that he can't do it, but I think his true nature and his true value is going to be dependent on whether he gets to a 4-3 scheme or not. And I think we have the perfect scenario. I mean, perfect. The way the draft can fall to us, this guy's perfect. And I know it's a lot of talk about, Abdul Carter. He's a game record, but he's a certain kind of player. But, just looking at the traits of Dennis Allen and what he looks for, I think this guy fits this thing perfectly. And I don't think there's any question about it. I don't second guess myself whatsoever. I know this guy is going to be an impact edge rusher on the next level. It depends on where he goes. Love to see him in the Chicago Bears uniform. He is an absolute freak. You see him on film, he really stands out just by his sheer size alone. He's position versatile. He's the kind of guy that you can slide anywhere along that defensive line, and he's going to get production because of that tenacity and his size. I'm telling you, very, very special football player that the world got to see yesterday that, we've been noticing for a long time over here, and we put you on notice. So taking a little bit of credit for myself because all this hard work got to mean something. So appreciate you guys. I want to say this. Don't forget to come watch the show tonight. We're going to be reviewing several more prospects. It had to be like 17 to 18 more players. But we would appreciate if you guys showed up and just take a good look at, some of the guys we put on display. So with that being said, I want to say thank you. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you want to help us out and move this thing forward and you like this new Bears content that's coming out on a daily basis, I will keep churning it out for you guys. Just hit the subscribe button. That's just a sure enough way to say thank you. But we appreciate you guys for listening and watching. Gotta leave you with these famous words. If you can think it and you can see it, there's no reason in the world why you cannot absolutely manifest it. But with that being said, don't be a creature of your own mind, prisoner of your own mind. I am out.